On today's Locked On Yankees, it's a special crossover edition with Sully of Locked On MLB.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
So as I said at the top, it's a crossover with Sully from Locked On MLB. We talk about the Yankees offseason. We talk about Gerrit Cole and how relieved we both are. Even Sully is relieved, and he's a Red Sox fan. So without further ado, here is the crossover edition of Locked On Yankees and Locked On MLB.
Hello, baseball fans, and hello, Yankee fans, and welcome to a Locked On MLB, Locked On Yankees crossover. This is the podcast where we cover all of Major League Baseball or the Yankees all season long. I am your host, Paul Francis Sullivan. Please call me Sully. As you look over here to screen right, we have our guest co-host for today,
Stacey Hello.
Yes, I was going to have you introduce yourself. She is the host of Locked On Yankees and has been since, I believe, Sparky Lyle was the closer of the Yankees. You've been there a while, and she is the reason I am now part of the Locked On Podcast Network. You're welcome. We're here to talk Yankees, and I think the Yankees had an unusual offseason and preseason because I think some things went very well, and I think some things didn't. And I think some things are still oddly up in the air, even though regular season games are starting in like 36 hours or something crazy like that. So, Stacey, I listen to your show all the time, but for those of us who don't, what grade would you give to this offseason to the Yankees? I almost would say it's incomplete, almost, but what did you think about what they did and what they did that was positive and what they did that was made you scratch your head?
I would give them a solid B+. Because
Yeah.
I think Juan Soto skews that. Like, it changes the curve. That move changes the curve. The bullpen moves they made were great, and I think under the radar, and I think people will see that once the season starts. I know there were Yankee fans who were disappointed that they didn't get Yamamoto, but he clearly wanted to be with Shohei Ohtani and with the Dodgers, and the Yankees could have thrown, $100 million a year at him and he'd be like, no, I want to be with Ohtani. So can't really help when a guy doesn't want to play for your team. They tried, It's not like they offered him nothing, because there have been some off seasons where the Yankees either offer too little and Brian Cashman will come out and say, oh, we tried, or they don't even bother, like with Machado and Harper. How many off seasons ago was that already? Like 6 off seasons ago. And
still that one still bewilders me. To this day, that bewilders me.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
I digress. But
yeah, but I think overall they had a more positive offseason than people are giving them credit for.
I think, first of all, we're going to get to one of the side effects of the Soto deal, because one of the players they gave up, they probably really wish they had back right now. But you make that trade a million times out of a million. Because it's last year. We know that it was not. Last year was not one. There's going to be a lot of Yankeeographies made about the 2023 season. But
only Gerrit Cole.
yeah. The pitching wasn't the issue last year. Yeah. Yes, the rotation kind of went through that horrible stretch when they were going through in the summertime. But we all saw that the entire lineup was Aaron Judge, and then the rest was like a split squad spring training game. So when Aaron Judge ran into the fence at Dodger Stadium and he was out for however long he was out, that was the biggest Jenga piece that was ever removed. The only time I ever saw a team go from legitimate contender for the World Series to, oh my God, are they going to finish above 500 like that, was when Bonds got hurt in 2005. And the Giants contended every single year. They're in the playoffs or near the playoffs every damn year. And then he got hurt in 2005 and they couldn't be above 500. That was the only time I've ever seen one player removed from a roster, destroy a team like that. And
it wasn't just that, because
it was Rizzo as well.
Anthony Rizzo scrambling his brain against Fernando Tatis's leg. DJ LeMahieu not being able to hit, Giancarlo Stanton not being able to hit. The only guy who was solid all year was Gleyber Torres. And people keep forgetting that, but he was the only one that was solid all year. And the thing that drives me crazy about Judge is if he didn't bash his toe, he would have had another season close to 62. He probably would have hit at least 58 home runs with the pace that he was on and the pace that he was on when he came back after bashing his toe. So yes, losing him was a big deal, but it didn't help that the rest of the lineup was just like, all right, well, we're not going to hit either. We're not going to hit while he's not here.
Well, having a legit MVP candidate not named Aaron Judge, hitting from the other side of the plate in a contract year, I mean, this is one of those situations when you put in a player, the ripple effect that it could have, what that will mean for the types. Now, are they batting? Where are they batting him in the lineup? Is he going to be behind Judge or in front of Judge?
In front. It's going to be whoever's leading off. Soto, Judge, probably Rizzo, probably Gleyber, probably Stanton or Verdugo, depending on how Stanton does. And then the end of the lineup would be more than likely Trevino and Volpe. I would prefer, just because of how he's hitting and how he changed his swing and how he's not trying to hit the crap out of the ball like he did last year, Anthony Volpe would be an ideal leadoff hitter if he keeps doing what he's been doing in spring training, and setting him up ahead of Soto, ahead of Judge. It would be like almost like the 90s teams were with, Jeter and Knobloch and Bernie and I
have something I want to say. I have something I'm dying to say. And this is the beautiful thing of having Stacey Gotsulias on the show. She didn't know I was going to ask this. And she set it up absolutely perfectly. What did she set up? Well, you're going to have to just wait an extra second. Hey, fans of daily fantasy sports, do I have a place for you? PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. This isn't you playing thousands of other players. You can pick more than or less than on a 2 to 6 player stat projection and watch the winnings roll in. Football season is over, but the action on the floor is heating up. With college basketball taking over the next month, there's no shortage of high-stake tournaments. Turn your hoops knowledge into some serious cash. You want to play alongside some of PrizePicks' favorite players like Meek Hill or Sugar Sean O'Malley? You can find community plays under the promos tab of the app to view entries of some of the biggest names in the PrizePicks community each week. I'm going to play this week, and I expect Devin Booker to give me more than 30 points and Jason Tatum of my Celtics to pull down 10 rebounds. Download the app today and use code Locked On MLB for a deposit match up to $100. Once again, download the app today and use the code Locked On MLB for a first deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks. Pick more. Pick less. You know what? It's that easy. As you know, Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel, Locked On Sports Today. Well, baseball fans, mark your calendars for March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the best MLB season preview coming exclusively on Locked On Sports Today. Mark the calendar. March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Be the first to get insight from the local experts from the Locked On Podcast Network. Find it on March 20th. Did I say April? Did I just say April 20th? That's very late for a preview. March 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on the Locked On Sports Today 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. Did I say April? I think I did. All I know is I had to change because our copy says Eastern Standard Time. It's daylight time, folks. It's daylight time.
I just say Eastern.
But it says EST right in front of me. Okay, I was going to ask something, and you tossed it up there. You just lobbed it. You lobbed it up there like Armando Benitez in a big situation. You just threw a fat pitch right down the heart of the plate. So, my suggestion, I swear it's here in my notes. I was going to ask you, should they have Volpe bat ninth, Soto bat leadoff, and Judge behind him? That way you have Soto and Judge getting the most at bats, and then when it's Volpe's turn, it's like he's at the leadoff spot because he's got Soto and Judge behind him. The first in the lineup only means anything in the first inning.
No, that's true, but no, because Soto doesn't. I think he bat leadoff maybe once. He doesn't do it. These guys are creatures of habit, and I feel like if you throw them in the leadoff spot, as professional as these guys are, I really like the Volpe, Soto, Judge, Rizzo combo there.
But have it be 9, 1, and 2. Have Soto and Judge getting the most at bats.
I don't know why I'm saying this, because I know that Boone is married to, as he would say, DJ in the leadoff spot. But DJ had a ball fouled off his foot over the weekend. He got x-rays. They're negative, and he's day-to-day. As Yankee fans know, whenever they say someone is day-to-day, he'll be out for 3 months. So we'll just wait and see what happens.
But day-to-day is code for currently in a full body cast. So
currently getting his foot amputated. That's what day-to-day means.
He's currently reenacting a scene from Misery. But one of the really under-the-radar moves that the Yankees made was Ferguson, who was going to be, and I've been actually eager to talk to you about this because I'm here in LA County. I saw Ferguson pitch. He was terrific. There are Dodger fans. And by the way, Dodger fans, you can't complain about this offseason, okay?
No.
You guys got Ohtani and Yamamoto.
Absolutely no.
And you got, you got Teoscar Hernandez. I mean, you got everything from Anaheim except the deed for Disneyland. And so you
Tyler
can't not complain about your offseason.
Yeah.
One friend of mine said, I'm so mad they lost Ferguson. And I said, well, would you trade Ferguson for Yamamoto and Ohtani? Because maybe psychologically that's the leap you have to make. By the way, someone who I work with is a rabid Dodger fan, and they were thrilled when they signed Ohtani. They were thrilled when they signed Yamamoto, but she was jumping up and down. We got Kiki Hernandez back. I said, yes. Because you said please. I mean, it was like it's not quite as big, but I think Ferguson is going to be the exact type of pitcher the Yankees need, especially after they traded away a lot of pitchers to get not just Soto but also Verdugo. They traded away a lot of their pitching depth, but Ferguson's going to slip right in there and be that bullpen. Not the Yankees bullpen is good, but you don't know what you're getting out of Holmes. You don't know which version, and it would not stun me if Ferguson winds up being the pitcher who leads their team in saves by the end of the year.
Yeah, that was one of those moves I was talking about where, people out in LA know about Ferguson, but Yankee fans didn't know anything about him. And, Steve and I were trying to explain to the Yankee fans, like, no, this is a really good move. Like, this is a really, really good move, and kind of shocking that the Dodgers were like, yeah, here.
Yeah, it may have been a numbers thing or may have been, I don't get it. I never got it. It made me, it was also, it kind of, I had a moment where I'm going, is he hurt? If they're going to find out first day of spring training, it's like, oh yeah, he's in a sling. Oh, we forgot to mention that he has no more nerves in his arm. But if he's healthy, then that's a really solid piece in their bullpen.
Yeah. So. They also have Jonathan Loáisiga is coming back. He's healthy. But it was that move and other smaller moves that they made for arms that may not be their opening day, but backup arms that they might be able to bring in, that I think they did a good job with that. Because I know that people, once they missed out on Yamamoto, they were talking about maybe the Yankees are going to try and do a super bullpen because, some of the starters don't last that long. Honestly, it's like that around baseball now. Like when someone hits 110 pitches in a game, you're like, whoa, someone pitched over 100. Holy cow.
I know. When they get through the sixth, your jaws are dropping.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been watching a lot of 70s baseball for this writing project, and it's like, well, and they're getting someone, well, he's up to 140 pitches. He's let up 5 runs and walked 10. I'm going like, get someone warm. But people forget one of the reasons why you didn't have relievers coming out of the pen throwing. I mean, once in a while you get a reliever throwing like a 90 to 100 out of the bullpen, but that's commonplace now. I mean, back then you were in the
throwing that hard though.
I know. I mean, and they weren't. Why are they? In my day, their arms weren't breaking. In your days, they weren't throwing 97-mile-an-hour sliders.
Right.
You know,
right.
I mean, you look at something. Look at that great pitch. His fastball gets up to 92 miles an hour. He's a flamethrower. That's an off-speed pitch now.
Well, a friend of mine from high school was drafted out of high school, and back then in 1992, it was a big deal that he was throwing 91 or 92. Yeah. And now that's like nothing.
Well, yeah, and now all people are also watching the film Rookie of the Year and thinking that's a documentary of, oh, why don't we just get the Tommy John surgery early and get it done? And
that's a good segue.
Which brings us to Gerrit Cole. Again, some of these just happen. Gerrit Cole is, if Aaron Judge is irreplaceable, then Gerrit Cole is irreplaceable times 1,000. He is. I'll say it. I think he's one of the best free agent signings the Yankees have made. Certainly the best this century. He and Sabathia, I think, are the two best. I think Sabathia is arguably the best free agent signing the Yankees ever made. I mean, when you think about what they got out of that as a long term, obviously you got to throw in Reggie and Goose and Dave Winfield and the Hall of Famers they signed. But Sabathia is a Hall of Famer, and they don't win that World Series in 2009 if they don't have Sabathia there. They don't even come close. They would be 2006 all over again. And he was the ALCS MVP when they won the World Series in 2009. But Cole has done, save for when he was probably hurt in the wild card game.
Hurt.
And he has delivered. He delivered in the COVID year. He delivered. He had an amazing year last year, and even the year when he was hurt, he won a huge game in 2021 in Toronto, where they don't make the playoffs if they don't win that game against a red hot Toronto team. He is a legit ace. He's one of the few legit aces in all of baseball, and there was a collective gulp that we heard from every Yankee fan when we heard, he was taken out of the game.
Do you know how good? Wait, do you know how good Gerrit Cole is? Jared Carabas of Barstool, who hates the Yankees, said, "Yeah, he's like, I don't want Gerrit Cole to be hurt. This is bad. I don't want him to be hurt."
It's good for baseball to have an ace like this. Mm-hmm. And look, when we come back, you and I are going to chat a little bit about that week and exactly how relaxed are you that the fact that Gerrit Cole has avoided the dreaded name of another former Yankee pitcher. Is TV confusing for you? It used to be easy. You had the channels, then you had cable. Now you have a million services. It's time to make TV easy again. It's time for Fire TV. It is your destination for sports, from live games to highlights to in-depth analysis. Fire TV offers amazing viewing experiences with smart TV, as well as the Fire TV stick that you can plug into your existing TV. Get access to millions of movies, TV episodes, as well as free and live television. Whether it's the college basketball tournament or Big League Baseball starting up, you're going to want to have a Fire TV. And Fire TV has Fire TV channels. Check out the latest videos from your favorite sports brands for free. Locked On episodes like this show are on there. And so are many pro leagues and major conferences as well. Check out great sports, news, gaming, travel, cooking, and entertainment content. Check out Fire TV channels on Fire TV and Alexa devices. Learn more at Amazon.com/LockedOnFireTV. Hey, let's talk about our friends from FanDuel. I don't know, Stacey, do you follow college basketball?
I used to, but I don't really anymore.
Well, everyone who doesn't follow college basketball is inevitably the one who wins the pool on March Madness. But those busted brackets, you can say goodbye to them because FanDuel lets you bet on every game of the tournament. Whether you're betting on a big upset or a 1 seed, it's time to go dancing on America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get up to $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 to use on point spreads, money lines. You can even pick who's going to win it all. Just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and bet on college hoops until they cut down the net. FanDuel, it's America's #1 sportsbook. And hey, you know this, but Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's available on Amazon Fire TV in the free Fire TV channels app. Say that 3 times fast. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with local experts of Locked On, plus national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available on the free Fire TV channel app. We are now talking about, welcome to Locked On Gerrit Cole's elbow. That was between that and Snell not signed. By the way, I just refreshed my let's get rid of that. I just refreshed my Twitter, is what I call it. Still no news on Snell. There probably won't be until, I'm guessing June.
Well, actually, I was refreshing my Twitter app the other night, waiting for news about Cole, and I figured, okay, I made it through the show, it's fine. And literally, as I was editing the show, the news came out that he was okay. And I was like, so now, I had to film myself on my phone saying, by the way, some of the questions I answer for Fan Mail Friday aren't going to, they might not jive with what just happened, because there was no time for me to re-record the show. So
now tell me your thought, those few days, which were for Yankee fans kind of like the Cuban Missile Crisis, just sort of like how like a lot can happen. Granted, when you know it could be bad when the good news is it'll only be 2 months. It'll only be a third of the season.
Right. It felt okay. Seeing the word MRI and Gerrit Cole in the same tweet felt as bad as I felt when Mo went down with that knee injury in 2012. Like, just, I was sick to my stomach all day because, you had said it before. Losing Aaron Judge is big, but losing Gerrit Cole is catastrophic. Mm-hmm. So the fact that it's just a nerve issue is like, I even joked that I would start going to church if it wasn't a UCL injury. And now I might have to start going to church. But the thing that drove me crazy was before the news came out that it was just a nerve inflammation. Like, there was just, I don't know what was going on there, but that there wasn't a tear. Or even though there was the news that there wasn't a tear, they were just getting a second opinion from the #1 doctor in that field. People were like, well, he should just get the surgery. Why is he getting a surgery when there's no tear? I was recommending to people that they read the book, The Arm by Jeff Passan, because I didn't know what Tommy John entailed before I read that book. And now that I know, and I hear about guys having a second Tommy John, I'm like, well, they can't have a third one. There's no room for them to do anything in the elbow after a second Tommy John, you know? So the people who were like, oh, he should get surgery. But this isn't like a willy-nilly surgery. Like, he's going to be out for how long? For no reason? There's no tear. Why would he get one?
It's not liposuction. It's like they're talking about like it's a nose job or something like that. I mean, it's like, no.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's a reason why it takes a year off of your career. And I mean, I'm not a Yankee fan. I don't mean to stun you with that news. But I don't want him hurt. It's good for baseball to have a badass like that. Of course, it has opened up the door for, okay, who the heck is going to win the Cy Young Award this year? I'm doing my preview right now. I'm going like, what 5-inning pitcher is going to win the Cy Young Award this year? As all the other races, like, well, it's not going to be DeGrom. It's not going to be Scherzer. It's not going to be Cole. It's not going to be anybody on the Red Sox. Although, no, maybe Brian Bello might win it just out of default. This might be
Corbin Burns?
Maybe. Yeah. Corbin, that's a good call. Corbin Burns is a good call. But I mean, the field just got a lot thinner. Got a heck of a lot thinner. You never seem to want to sniff at Snell or bring back Montgomery. It doesn't seem like that's really something on your priority list there.
Me personally?
Yeah. I know you don't have a lot of say in the issue, but I mean.
Yeah. No, I joked when the news first came out about Cole, before we knew anything was going on. I said, Hal, open up the wallet, just sign both of them. Who cares at this point? Who cares about your luxury tax penalty? You can live 15 lifetimes and still have all the money that you have. So just sign them. I just find it amazing. Like, have we ever had this where a reigning Cy Young winner is unsigned on March 18th? Like, no. What? What is happening?
This hasn't happened really since when there was collusion, and like Tim Raines was unsigned. But I don't think this is.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Wait. What do you mean when there was?
I don't think this is. I don't think this is the same. I don't think.
I don't know. Kike Hernandez seems to think there's some colluding going on.
I think that the owners are surrounded by so many number crunchers who are showing the risk reward. And I think more GM, and I said this on the show the other day, I think more GMs are worried about not making a mistake than making a big move. They don't want to be the one who, when they write the articles of what are the worst contracts in baseball, to have your name next to Anthony Rendon, or to make the big emotional signing, like when Steven Strasburg, thanks so much, here's a 10-year extension. And then, he's thrown like 3 pitches since then. And now it's turned to a mess. Nothing's ever normal with Steven Strasburg and his contract and how he's been handled. But I think that more GMs realize their job could be on the line if they sign the pitcher to the wrong deal. And they look at Snell and they say, yes, he's won 2 Cy Young awards. But they also know that the years he's not winning a Cy Young award, he's not an elite pitcher. That he is these sharp, I mean, I remember when Derek Lowe pitched for the Red Sox, he never had a mediocre year. He was either astonishing or, oh my God, get him out of here. And I mean, there are people who've won multiple Cy Youngs, like Brandon Webb nearly won 2 Cy Young. He won one, he nearly won another. And after his last great year, he pitched 1 game. Toodaloo. So there's a sense of, I don't want to be the one whose name is associated with handing out a crap contract. So I think some
but Brian
GMs
Cashman has already handed out crap contracts, and there's no job. I was going to say there's no job security. That's not right. He has the most job security out of any GM.
He is the post job security.
Like he could do that because Jacoby Ellsbury. Hello.
But I actually don't think Hal wants to go over the luxury tax.
No, he doesn't.
And so I think that's the main reason. He doesn't want to.
It's definitely the main reason. It's the main reason. And I really wish that Hal would stop. That's the bad thing about Hal. I've spoken about this before. I wish that George Steinbrenner's children were a mix. Dearly departed Hank was crazy like his father. Hal is very buttoned up and businesslike. And if there were an owner that were kind of like the combination of the two, I feel like that would be the perfect Yankee owner. And we don't have that.
You would Voltron the 2 sons together, and then we'd have that. But you're old enough to remember. You were in the same ballpark. You remember that, and the rewriting of George's legacy I find very funny, because I was there long enough to remember the George must go chants, and the fact that he traded away Fred McGriff, he traded away Willie McGee, he traded away Doug Drabeck, he traded away Jose. There was one postseason where the 2 big pitchers were Jose Rio and Doug Drabeck, former Yankee farmhands. And gee whiz, I wonder if Jay Buhner. Gee whiz, I wonder if Willie McGee and Fred McGriff would have had great careers in Yankee Stadium.
He would have traded away if he weren't suspended. Like the reason the dynasty happened was because George was suspended. If he wasn't suspended, they wouldn't have had Mariano Rivera. No. They wouldn't have. They most likely wouldn't even have had Derek Jeter. He would have found a way to trade him away. So this whole, I agree with you. The revisionist history for George is the strangest thing I've seen, especially because it tends to be people around our age who were there for it. And I don't understand how they don't remember the bad stuff.
Remember when they were just the Lee Getermans and the Rick Rodens of the world would be in their rotations. And it was basically, I recognized John Candelaria's name. And so there he would be. And then they would, and then like the A's fleeced the Yankees twice for Ricky Henderson. And it's amazing. But anyway, well, look, the American League East, I think right now Baltimore's the best team. I think they're the best team. And I think there's going to be, and I'm not sure who the hell is coming out of the Central at this point. Yeah, 5.
I don't think anyone does.
I think this year and we know the 2 Texas teams are going to be good. And so there's going to be a scrum between Seattle, Toronto, the Yankees. I definitely put the Yankees in there, Tampa, and, I don't see the Angels doing piddly poo. And I honestly don't see a Central team I don't see a Central team winning more than 85 games. And so that means there's probably not another team in there unless there's a surprise team where everything clicks in a kind of a fluky way. Basically, the Yankees are going to be battling with Seattle, Tampa, and Toronto. There's going to be 4 teams trying to get into 2 slots.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where this year is going to go. And if Gerrit Cole comes back, I give the Yankees a puncher's chance to get back in. The Red Sox don't have a prayer this year. They're not even trying. But yeah, but they're. What's your prediction? I know we're going a tiny bit over. But what's your prediction for the Yankees this year?
I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they'll be one of the wild cards, though. I feel like Baltimore is going to win the division. I've been saying that all offseason, though, much to the dislike of my fellow Yankee fans. I'm like, I'm not going to be rah-rah pinstripe glasses here. I'm a realist, and Baltimore, they may fall off a little bit from last year because they played way over what they were supposed to play, but I don't see them falling off that much. Like, the projection systems have gone insane because Baltimore is definitely winning over 90 games.
Yes. And remember, the Yankees aren't going to have their ace for a third of the season. Yeah. At best. And when he comes back, it's not going to be like, and he's not going to throw a complete game shutout his first game back. So,
well, I mean, but you never know.
You never know. I think the Yankees are going to win 85, 86 games. I think they're going to get a boost when Cole comes back. But I think that there's going to be a chain reaction of the addition of Soto, because I think that you'll have Rizzo back, you'll have protection for Judge.
See, I feel like they can win more, though. You know why? Because they don't play their in-division rivals as much. So they'll be playing some of those crappy Central teams when they should be playing the Rays and the Orioles and the Blue Jays.
Stacey, I came on the show and I said, I think the Yankees are going to be a playoff team.
Yeah, but I feel like it's going to be closer to 90.
Okay, fine. I said 86. So therefore, 4 games blinking around here, you'll give you 4 extra wins there. I'll say 86. I'm saying 86, a number I don't like to say.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Right. To the kids out there, that's not a good year.
And you know what? That's going to bring us to the trivia question. And I'm not going to bring up a year that I usually bring up. Guess what year I'm going to bring up? 09. Huh? Look at how generous I am. But I am going to bring up the Red Sox. The trivia question is this. Don't you answer it, Stacey. More than one member of the 2009 Yankees who played in the World Series in 2009 had previously won a World Series with the Red Sox. Which multiple members of the 09 Yankees who actually played in the World Series got their first World Series ring as a member of the Red Sox? Put that down here on YouTube, or put it at Locked On MLB Pods on Twitter or on Instagram. Stacey, where can people follow your show?
You can follow us on Instagram, Locked On Yankees, YouTube, obviously, and Twitter, Locked On Yankees. It's all one word. It's very easy.
There you go. Talking positively about the Yankees and feeling sick about it with Stacey Gotsulias of Locked On Yankees. This has been Locked On MLB, Locked On Yankees crossover. I am your host, Paul Francis Sullivan. Please, I'm begging you, call me Sully.